More than 7 million people fled their homes as a result of the conflict in Ukraine, the greatest mass migration since World War II. And in the areas taken over by the Russian army, there's often little left of homes and infrastructure.
Suddenly I heard an explosion and my doors were blown out. I felt a little draft and took a torch to find out what it was. I saw the door was missing and all the windows on the balcony were broken.
Many of these residents feel stuck without documents or resources to leave. But now they're leaving anyway to escape the coming winter. And to do so, they have to traverse the country of their enemy, Russia. This 15th century Ivangorod fortress on the other side of the river there marks the boundary between Russia and where I'm standing here in Estonia. And it also marks the end of a very long and stressful journey for hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians who have made the journey more than 1,500 miles to this bridge right over here where they enter the European Union. This cruise ship in Tallinn's harbor is now a temporary home for 2,000 Ukrainians. While the Estonian government is helping with a small stipend and other social programs, it's still a tough transition.
It's hard on the children. That's why we try to keep everything positive, to not talk about it, as if everything is fine, as if we just changed our place of residence.
Cramped conditions on board the ship are nothing compared to what these Ukrainians endured to get here.
They surrounded me with their weapons and said, "You do not get to choose where you will go. We choose." And I said, "Sorry, but we are not cattle, we are humans."
This tiny Baltic nation has taken in more than 50,000 refugees since the beginning of the war.
It's about 3-4% of the population that has come to Estonia as refugees, and we're not even counting the people who have just come through. You know, for context, that's about 10 million people in the United States.
79-year-old Zoya never traveled more than a few miles from her home in Mariupol before it was bombed by the Russians.
Now we have nowhere else to go. What's worse, we have no electricity, no gas. I doubt we'll have heat this winter.
After Zoya arrived here with little more than the clothes on her back, local church members volunteered to take her in.
The people at our church wanted to see if anybody would be able to help her out, put her up for a couple of nights, and we figured we might as well do that.
I am so grateful for this family. How can they treat me so well when we aren't even family? We did not ask for Russia to save us. Maybe 5% of the people in Mariupol supported the Russians. But you'd have to be on drugs to look at these blackened, bombed-out buildings and think that this is what it looks like to be saved.
Ukrainians aren't the only ones crossing into Estonia in search of a better future. There are thousands of Russians here as well.
I immigrated from Russia in 2015. And one of the reasons I immigrated was that I felt that I'm growing up or living in a country of aggressor.
I think this war should not have happened. We just broke into our neighbors and started killing them for no reason. These things should not happen in the 21st century.
In Tallinn, Estonia, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.